Good morning, Stephen. Good to see you this morning, man. Hope everything's going well for you. Gavin, good day, mate. How's everything in the land down under? Awesome, man. Looks like everybody's sleeping in this morning. Hope y'all have had a good weekend. Hope y'all have had some good food this weekend. C. Dukin, good morning. Jeremy, good morning. Miss Rhonda, good morning. Good to see you this morning. Miss Rhonda, you girl still in the bed. I guess it is evening in Australia, isn't it, Gavin? Gavin, about the sign, just go on the website, JusPiddlin BBQ.com, find the sign that you want and order it. I enabled shipping to Australia, and so just go on there and order it, and I'll ship it to you. We'll get you one of them Traeger signs, whatever one you want, or if you want something a little different, just let me know, and I'll get it to you. I appreciate you, man. Tom, good morning. Hope your weekend has gone well. We'll let a few more get in here, and then we'll get started. We got a pretty good lineup of topics for this morning. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I appreciate you, Gavin. Thank you, man. And if you have a problem with it or something doesn't go right or something on the website, let me know and I'll look at it again. I'll look at it again right before. Give me about an hour after we get through with this morning show, Gavin, to look at it again, make sure everything's set up right, and then go check it out. Matt, good morning. It's been good so far, Matt. I hope it's been good for you too, man. Hope it's been good for you too. Matt, looks like you've been busy over the weekend. Is Max still in the bed too? I can't believe it. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Matt. That's the way it seems like it always goes. There's always, one spouse that does one thing while the other one does the other, no matter what it is. But I guess that's what keeps it balanced, right? Yeah, Matt, I wouldn't try that. I would not have tried that. That wouldn't go very well. Eddie, good morning, man. How's it going this morning? Hope you've had a good weekend so far. Man, Eddie, one of the things I'm going to talk about is that cook that I did yesterday with the pork butt. I did a video on it. I'm going to try to edit it today. I'll talk about that video a little bit more in depth in a minute, but man, I mean, it really knocked it out of the park. Uh, great pork, great color, great smoke ring. And I'm going to talk about that smoke ring a little bit here in a minute too. But I was trying to get a pretty good smoke ring on it, and I did. And I'll tell you what I did to achieve that. And it was great. But the flavor was great. And the performance of that Chimp was spot on. And I even had a little adversity that we had to overcome with weather. And I want to talk about that too. That's a good topic that I want to cover real quick. And that is with all you guys with pellet smokers. Steven, that's good, man. Placed second in the bass tournament. Awesome. Congratulations on that. With all you guys with pellet smokers, I just want to talk a minute because it happened to me yesterday. And it was my fault because it was poor planning. I kind of knew ahead of time that it was going to rain, or a good chance of rain yesterday. But because of the lighting, and the lighting's a lot better out there with natural light, I wanted to put, the Chimp out there by the pool and kind of just make it look better. But as luck would have it, a couple hours in, it starts. I could tell it was fixing to rain. So, but I knew that ahead of time, and I still used a short extension cord instead of a long one. So I had to stop the cooking, shut it down, unplug it, put it in under the back porch awning, plug it back in, and restart it. But it was absolutely no issue whatsoever with doing that. But it was because I shut it down the right way. I went through the shutdown process first. I didn't just go over there and unplug the grill, because when you do that, it doesn't go through the shutdown process, and so it's more likely that you're going to have problems that way. Vincent, good morning. How are you this morning? So I went through the shutdown process, unplugged it, put it under the shelter, plugged it back in. It went right through its startup process, right back to where I had it set at. No big issues. It took maybe 5 minutes of shutdown and 5 minutes of starting back up, so 10 minutes out of the cook. But I would have rather done that than go through the whole process of it sitting out there in the pouring rain. So it turned out good. Robert, good morning. Great Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning is great. Every Sunday morning is great. By the way, speaking of Sunday mornings, my oldest son just started a YouTube channel. And I want to make sure I get it right. And it's going to be a cooking channel, barbecue channel. And see if I get, there it is. And if you just look up Grillin, Grillin, Grilling and Preaching. Grilling and Preaching, the Backyard Gospel Project. I think he did his first video the other day, and it was a good video. Y'all check that out if you're looking for if you're fans of barbecue, you'll like his channel. If you're a fan of the Word of God, you're going to like his channel. And if you're a fan of both, well, you're going to get the best of both worlds. So he's going to kind of use that platform to get the word out, and very proud of him for that. So you guys check that out. And if nothing else, just give him some words of encouragement, give him a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to his channel. That would be awesome. And I think when you watch his video, you'll see some similarities with the Jus Piddlin BBQ stuff. So y'all give it a look anyway. grilling and preaching. Pretty good stuff. Matter of fact, I'll put a link to his channel in the description box when I get done here. What kind of problems can a person expect from an improper shutdown? Well, first of all, when you just go over there and unplug it, it's not going to go through that shutdown process. So it's not going to burn up all of those pellets that are still left in your fire pot. Because after you shut it down properly, that fan continues to run, creating airflow so that flame stays in there and burns out the rest of those pellets in the fire pot. Well, if you don't do that and you have an excess amount of pellets in that fire pot, it almost acts like a mini flame out, in that you've got, once you start it back up and it starts dumping more pellets in there, you're going to have more pellets than you need, which could really end up with a flame out situation as far as the fire pot overflowing with pellets. And then when it does ignite, you're going to have a big issue, possibly a big boom and the lid flying open and all that stuff. And you don't want any of that. And really, that's why the shutdown process is in place, is so the grill shuts down properly. It is there for a purpose, in other words. So it's not wise to skip that step. And I mean, I had to think about it yesterday. I went over there and was, should I unplug it or should I go ahead and shut it down like normal? I looked up at the clouds. I still had some time. You could see it coming, but so I said, I'm going to shut it down properly. So that's what I did. And on the Silverbac, it's only a 5-minute process. Shut it down properly, move it, start it back up like it's supposed to be. And anytime you can shut it down and start it up with the recommended process, you're always going to get a better result. Appreciate that, Jeremy. Robert, thank you. Awesome, Stephen. How many years have you had your Silverbac? I was thinking about that yesterday. I think I'm working on 3 years. I'll have to let me look. Let me look. I'm going to look back at the channel at when I posted my initial video on that Silverbac. I've got to go back a long ways now. I'm working on 3 years, I'm pretty sure. Should be pretty close to 3 years. Okay, let's see. There's the unboxing. That was February of 2017. Is that when it was published? February 2017. So really only 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Two and a half years, but I've probably done 3 years worth of cooking on it. So, Mike, good morning. Good to see you. Glad you decided to get out of the bed this morning. We've been on for a couple of hours now already. Robert Jones, good morning. I've had mine just over a year. Awesome, Jeremy. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, man, again, yesterday, this guy posts a picture. It does fly, especially the older you get. This guy yesterday posted a picture of his Silverbac, and almost like he was proud of it and bragging about how crappy that thing looked. He even had grease and soot 3 inches onto his shelf. It was just black in front of the lid. I mean, it looked terrible. He said it was a workhorse. Well, mine's a workhorse too. I'll venture to say I probably cook on mine more than this guy does, but mine looks almost like you could put it in a store and sell it. I mean, it looks, the outside looks minus a couple of scratches on the stainless, just from sliding trays on and off and pans and stuff. I just feel like a clean grill is gonna cook better. I don't know if I'd want to eat food off of that thing. Because if the outside looks like that, what does the inside look like? That's my question. Anyway, everybody's different. I've got to start realizing everybody's different. All right, let's get started. Channel update real quick. I think Wednesday, my subscribers was 3776 and now it's 3808. So continuing to grow thanks to you guys. Couple of the videos, that Traeger 780 review video is doing well. It's only been out there a couple days and I'm over 500 views on it. The Chimp review video is almost at 1100 views, so it's doing really good. And my last corned beef, the corned beef video I did before that, is over 1100 views too. So thank all you guys for viewing those and sharing them and all that stuff. I really appreciate that. Those are doing really well. So let's talk about the mailbag this week. The mailbag this week was crazy. And I say crazy because, you know, I say all the time, and I really mean it. If another channel has as good of subscribers or better subscribers than you guys, I'd like to see it because you guys are awesome. And I know that you guys subscribe to many more channels other than mine, especially Mike Tabor, but I won't hold that against him. But really, you guys are amazing and are always surprising me in some way. But anyway, to the mailbag. First of all, I came home Friday. There was 2 packages under the carport. You know, one was a little smaller, and one was, it looked like a dadgum big screen TV was in it. It wasn't a big screen TV, but it was just as good. But Iron Bean Coffee Company, Fred and Chanel, Jus Piddlin BBQ got more cast iron coffee in, along with this shirt. Look at that shirt. Awesome. And Gildan soft style shirts like the Jus Piddlin BBQ shirts. Awesome shirts. Fred and Chanel, thank y'all. Cast iron in the Iron Bean coffee mug to start the day. Oh, man. That's good stuff. I'm telling you. We could still smell it through the box. It smells like a legit coffee house. You know, that classic coffee. Love it. They need to make a cologne. Iron Bean. We need to come up with a slogan. Iron Bean Cologne. Anyway, Fred and Chanel, thank you guys. Appreciate the friendship. I told Fred, you know, the coffee is awesome, but the friendship and the relationship is even more than that. So I appreciate those guys. So that was that. Jace, good morning. Good to have you this morning. Mark, good morning. Good to have you guys. So the big box. I didn't know, I had no idea what it was. And then I went and picked it up. And the damn thing was heavy. What in the world? So I get it in here Well, long story short, Justin Stanley, awesome Justin, all I can say. I mean, I'm almost speechless. Sent me a griddle hack for my Silverbac. And if you're not familiar with a griddle hack, you can look it up. But it is a griddle insert for a Silverbac, or they make them for a lot of pellet grills. But you take out the guts of your Silverbac, and it's got a funnel made and everything where it fits on the front and back legs just like your grill grate does. But when you set it in there, that hole is right over your fire pot, and it is a solid steel griddle. I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's over the top. I don't even know what to say, Justin, except thank you. But I mean, that's over the top. Very humbled, and I was really in disbelief. Brandy was in disbelief when she was like, "Oh my gosh!" Well, I was excited, you know. So I washed it and then took it out there, cleaned out the Silverbac, threw it in there. Fit perfect, by the way. Fired it up, and I was really curious to see how it was going to work. I mean, I never cooked on a pellet grill with a lid open, you know. Didn't know how that was going to work. It worked perfect. I mean, it worked perfect. I'm gonna have to play with the temp a little bit. The other day, just to season it, I put it on 300. Next time, I'll probably put it on 250. But put some oil on it, put some bacon grease on it, seasoned it up. I didn't have anything taken out to cook on it, but we had some onions. So I diced up some or sliced up some Vidalia onions in that bacon grease, threw on there, caramelized those things. Man, those things tasted awesome. And then I went in there and grabbed a couple of eggs, went out there, fried a couple of eggs on there. Did perfect. I mean, perfect. Couldn't be happier with that thing. So in a soon to be video, I'm going to be doing some smash burgers on the griddle hack on the Silverbac. So that's going to be cool. But again, Justin, man, all I can say is thank you, and I appreciate it very much. And I feel like that's not even, I feel like that's not even good enough. I don't even know. I don't know. You'll probably be getting some Jus Piddlin BBQ garb, swag from me pretty soon. That was awesome. I mean, thank you very much. So that was the mailbag. Iron Bean Coffee and the griddle hack. So Justin is the damn goat. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That was amazing. Amazing. So, and that's going to be fun to play with. That's going to be really cool. So again, thank you. Do you know where that Vegemite jar is at, mate? Yes, I do. I don't know if it has arrived yet, but by now I would think it has. It should be with Russ Jones over at the Smoky Ribs barbecue channel, and I think he's around like Biloxi, Mississippi, in the Biloxi, Mississippi area. I'll contact Russ today and see if he's actually gotten it. So that jar should have made it from Australia to Georgia to California and now to Mississippi. And we'll see what Russ comes up with that. So I need to go over there and check it out to see if he's already done something with it. Silverbac griddle hack. It does have a nice little ring to it, doesn't it? I actually saw some guy using it as a rub on lamb shanks. Wow. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's an acquired taste. Maybe I need to start eating it more. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I need a bigger coffee mug. This thing empties too quick. Kind of like those ultras yesterday. The only thing about yesterday was in the brewmates, you know, the little metal stainless steel holders for the skinny cans. The thing about those is they're kind of heavy. So it makes it feel like you've still got something in your can, you know, and then it's empty. I find myself walking back to the cooler more than I would normally do. So that was the mailbag. Let's talk about the videos this week. Videos. First of all, again, the Chimp video doing very well. Gotten some good responses from that. Jace, I feel a little rough this morning. And then I did the 780 video, the Traeger 780 video. Got some great responses from it as well. Now let's get to the most common question. And y'all know what the most common question is going to be. I knew what the most common question was going to be before I ever made the 780 review. I get it. I mean, I've already got it 10 times since I posted the video. So which would you recommend, the Traeger or the Silverbac? I love it. I don't think anybody on my channel is ever going to get past that Traeger versus Grilla Grill thing. Here's what I would recommend. I would recommend you go buy both of them and enjoy both of them. That's what I would recommend. But really, here's my answer. Which one would I recommend, either the Traeger 780 or the Grilla Grill Silverbac? Here's my honest answer. I'd recommend both of them. That's my honest answer. Here's what I would suggest to you if you're looking at both of them. Number one, there's $200 difference between the top Alpha Silverbac and the Traeger 780, Pro 780. So there's $200 difference between the two. That's the first thing. $200 isn't that much, depending on, you know, how you look at things. $200 is still $200. But in the scheme of grills, that's not a whole lot. But it is a difference, $200 difference. Number two, and this is my honest opinion. For me, the edge goes to Grilla Grill Silverbac as far as construction quality goes. I have to say that. Stainless steel insides and all that stuff, I give the edge to Silverbac for construction. Now, with that, I will say, and I said this yesterday to a couple of guys that were on Facebook, and I said it in the video, that 780, that Pro 780 is not last year's Pro 34. It is way beyond that Pro 34, which, by the way, was selling for $9.99. Construction wise, build quality, the height, the height, the stance, the technology, the controllers, all of that is way beyond what a Pro 34 was last year. So do not get those confused. So I think I think Traeger has stepped up their game from a build quality standpoint on most things. Now they still do stuff that is just knucklehead, makes no sense to me. Um, and I cover some of those things at the end of the video. So, but I'm giving the edge construction wise to the Silverbac. From a controller standpoint, even with the new Alpha board that Grilla Grills has come out with, from a controller standpoint and technology standpoint, I give that edge to that Pro 780. There's so many things that you can do with that Pro 780 controller. It's I could have made that, and I'm always accused anyway of these review videos being too long, but it could have been a lot longer if I had gone really in depth into that Traeger controller and the Traeger app, and when you combine the two, all the possibilities that you have. So, Mike, I posted on your Instagram that I would be there for some Chimp. Yeah, I did answer. I said I'm waiting on you, and I'm still waiting because you never showed up. You never showed up. I was waiting. I kept walking through the gate over there and looking, and you still weren't here. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everything is going well in Afghanistan. And God bless you. Godspeed. So that's my answer. $200 difference. Do you want Wi-Fi? If you don't want Wi-Fi, then get the Silverbac. If a little bit more technology and Wi-Fi is your thing, get the Pro 780. And that's really my answer. You're not going to go wrong with either one of them. I love both of them. I really do. And again, in the past, I have been disappointed a little bit in some of the Traeger products from a construction standpoint. But the new Pro series, the Ironwood series and Timberline series, they're good. They're really good. I did have a question about the heat deflector in the Traeger, and it's thin. And if I were to make it, I would make it probably to where I could drive my truck on top of it or something. But that's really overkill. It's a heat deflector. It deflects heat. It's really not that big a deal. But everything else was really good. I'm really impressed with that thing. I cooked on it yesterday. Yesterday, by the way, I cooked chicken wings this was all at the same time. Yeah, I had a busy day yesterday. I cooked chicken wings on the Kamado Joe. At the same time, I had jalapeno poppers on the Pro 780, and I had a 9.5 pound pork butt on the Grilla Chimp. So, and the only thing that we have left over is pulled pork. Oh, and we cooked bacon on the Pro 780. So I cooked 2 pounds of bacon yesterday, chicken wings, poppers, and pork butt. But everything turned out great. Everything turned out great on Kamado. Everything turned off great on the Pro 780. Everything turned off great off of the Chimp. I don't know. All these folks that have problems with one grill, I don't ever have a problem with any of them. What's your opinion on Pit Boss? Oh man, Robert. If you ask, I'm going to give you my honest answer, and a lot of people don't ask honest answer. I don't know about Pitmaster, Eddie. That's Pitmaster is. You need that sign on your front door. I'm just cooking in my backyard. But there are things that you can do seriously to improve the chances of having good cooks on whatever grill that you have. And I'll talk about that in a minute right after I get through with Robert's question. So Robert, you asked my opinion on Pit Boss. I'll give you my honest answer, but sometimes my honest answer makes people mad. I don't want to do that, but I'm just not a big fan of Pit Boss. And here's why. And it's not just Pit Boss. You could just take the name Pit Boss out and just any grill. Because I had this question yesterday. Robert's going to make me get into a little triggered episode here. I was going to talk about it in a minute, but this is going to lead into that, and this is the perfect spot to do it. And I wish, and I don't mean it the way this is going to sound, because I'm just giving my opinions, but this is just the way I feel. And I wish more people, I wish every person that had a pellet grill would watch this channel just for a little bit for this reason. There are so many people buying pellet grills right now. And there are so many people that are buying pellet grills that have never done one lick of research. Not one lick of research. They don't know how they operate. They don't know how to start them up. They don't know what to do if they have a problem. They don't know what to look for. And they take them home. They have issues. They complain. And it's their own fault. So yesterday, it was a comment on the 780 review. And I don't remember the names, and if I did, I wouldn't use them because I don't want to do that. But a guy said, what would you recommend, the 780 or the Pit Boss 1100 something something that's at Costco? But I can't find a price on the 780 at Costco. Okay. And even right now, I can feel something just burning up in here. And I'm going to try to stay calm this morning. First of all, here's my first advice. If you don't hear anything else, I'm going to sum it up. And maybe half the world has already done this and had great results. Maybe so. Here's my advice. Please share this advice. Do not go and buy a pellet grill from Costco or Sam's or any of those big discount stores. Do not do that. That's it. Don't do it. Any grill that is at Costco, for example, and I'm not knocking Costco. I'm not knocking Sam's Club. I'm not knocking them. I shop at Sam's. I'm just not going to buy my grills there. Here's the thing. Okay, if I got a flat screen TV right there. It's a Sanyo, let's say 42 inch. Okay, whatever that model number is. Maybe I bought that at Best Buy. But I can go to Costco and find that Sanyo 42 inch, that same model number in Costco. And if I can find it in Costco, that same model number, cheaper than I bought it at Best Buy, then I would buy that at Costco. Here's the problem with pellet grills and places like Costco. They're in Costco for a reason, because they're cheaper. I'm going to put it plain as can be. They're cheaper. They're not the same grill that you're going to get at Atlanta Grill Company. So I even responded to the guy yesterday, and I was trying to help the guy out, and the guy wouldn't listen. I told him, you're not going to find a Pro 780 in Costco. That's a premium grill. The grills at Costco are not premium grills. Even, even pit boss. Look at some of the names of pit boss that are in Costco's, and then go to pit boss website and try to find those on there. The other day on QVC, and this is part of the Traeger stuff that I don't like, and it gives them a bad name. Let's be honest. QVC, Home Shopping Network, had a Traeger on there. It was called a Homestead. Go to Traeger's website and look up a Traeger Homestead. You're not going to find it because they don't make a Traeger Homestead. But places like QVC and Home Shopping Network and Costco, this is what they do. Stephen, thank you very much, man. Very much appreciated. This is what those companies do to companies like Traeger or Pit Boss. They'll come to them and they'll say, hey, we want to put a Traeger on QVC, but we don't want to put the Pro 780 on QVC. We want a grill on QVC that is just strictly the only place you can get this grill is at QVC. The only place you can get this grill is at Costco. So what do? Whatever company that is, Traeger, Pit Boss, whatever, they take a grill that they already make, rename it, and it's one of their lower end grills, by the way, and they put it in Costco at a cheap price. They're making no money on that grill. And if they're making no money on it, do you think it's going to be their premium product? No, it's not going to be their premium product. So now it's sitting in Costco. By the way, in Costco, now sometimes Traeger has guys walking around there, and that's their only real job is to stand in a Costco and sell Traegers, but they're not actual Traeger sales people like my brother is, that demos grills, that cooks on them, that helps fix them. They're out there beating the streets. They're not like Harley. They're guys that say, hey, well, last week I was selling lawnmowers. This week I'm going to sell Traegers in Costco. Pit Boss is not going to have anybody in there telling you how to start your grill up, how to maintain your grill, what happens if you have a flame out, what is a flame out, what is a back burn. Nobody's going to be able to tell you anything about those. Anyway, the comment yesterday, and I told him, you're not going to find, because the guy said, well, the Pro 780, if I add a front shelf and a cover, it's almost twice as much as that Pit Boss 1100. Okay, but you're not looking at the same quality grill. And you're not going to find a Pro 780 in a Costco. Well, the guy didn't listen. And 3 hours later, I get a little thing on my phone. Let me, so-and-so commented. And the first part of the comment, it was that same guy. And he said, I found it. I'm like, oh, Lord. So I look at his comment. And his comment was, I found it. I found Costco's version of the Pro 780. It's called a Traeger Centurion 34. First of all, again, go to Traeger website and look up Centurion 34. It's not going to be on there. It's not going to be on there. And so I commented, and you should see this grill. It's hideous. It's on a cabinet that looks like a tool chest. It's terrible. I found Costco's version of the Pro 780. It's called the Traeger Centurion 34. And at this point, I'm like gouging my eyes with spoons. So I commented back, dude, that's not even close to the same grill. It doesn't have Wi-Fi. It doesn't have that controller. It's not built the same. It's on some kind of snap-on tool chest. It's not close to the same at all. You're not going to buy a quality pellet grill at Costco. And nobody's there to help you with it. Nobody's there to show you anything. And when I tell you nobody's there to help you with anything, guys, I'm going to tell you, everybody that's showing up on here, for the most part, knows exactly what to do with whatever grill that you have. But I'm telling you, there were guys yesterday asking questions about how long pellets last in the hopper before you have to change them out. Let that sink in a minute. Not how long do pellets last in the hopper before they get burned. How long do pellets last in the hopper before you have to take them out and put new ones in? They don't even comprehend that they're getting burned. You understand that? They're acting like it's a food and they're going to go bad, and then you take those out and put new ones in. They don't even realize that's the fuel. There are people asking where to hook propane tanks up. Where's the propane tank go on this thing? Well, it doesn't use propane. It's a pellet grill. Well, I know, but something's got to light it. I mean, they don't know. And these are the people that are purchasing these grills. So if that kind of person doesn't talk to somebody like my brother, for example, and they go to Costco and buy a pellet grill, there's nobody there to tell them, sir, you don't hook your propane up to it. The pellets are what's burning. There's nobody to tell them any of that. There's a question yesterday, a lady, her and her husband just bought one, took it home, fired it up. They had smoke coming out of their pellet hopper. Why is it doing? They asked, why is it doing that? And my question is not why is it doing that? My question is, why do you not know why it's doing that before you purchase the pellet grill? So, man. But, and this is why I hate grill companies putting, here's the thing. If I had a grill company and I built a grill, it wouldn't matter if my grill was in Ace Hardware's, in Walmart's, in Costco's, wherever my grill was, it would be the exact same grill at the exact same price. The problem is Costco's aren't going to take those. Because they're not cheap and they're not going to make anything on them. And that's why they do it. And I get it, but I think it's hurting their brand in the long run. So, but back to Pit Boss. And here's what I was going to say. If you have that 780 out there is $9.99, 780 square inches. My Silverbac, roughly 800 square inches, $800. And and you're going to buy an 1100 square inch grill for $5.99. So let's just say, so just think about it. Just think about it. First of all, think about the cost of steel and how much steel prices are right now. Think about, even if it's just a basic controller, think about the technology that goes into that controller and the hot rod and the shipping costs of Pit Boss to ship those grills to the Costco's, for example. How much do you think that costs? So how much do you think Pit Boss has cost-wise in that grill? And they're selling it for $5.99. So what kind of quality do you think it's going to be? That's what I'm getting at. I mean, if it only cost $100 to make, think about that. 1100 only costs $100 to make. What do you think it's made out of? If they've got $50 worth of shipping, that's $150. All of their other costs, manufacturing costs, and paying their employees and all that stuff gets wrapped up in the actual cost of a grill. By the time it's said and done, how much do you think that they're really making off of that grill? And again, what's it made out of? So, I understand that people want to save money, and that's why they go to Costco's. But sometimes I just think, if a guy spent $9.99 on a 780, for example, and then this guy goes and buys that Centurion 34 for $5.99, man, and Jim Bob over here's got a 780 for $9.99, and that guy said, man, I got me a Traeger too, but I didn't pay $5.99 for mine. With this guy, all he knows is we both got Traegers. But what really happened was he got a Pinto, and this guy got a Ford Expedition XL. They're both Fords, I guess, but not the same, Whew. I just couldn't believe that guy. I found it. He was bent that he was going to find that Traeger 780 in Costco. I don't know. That old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink? That's the way I felt yesterday. Dude, I'm trying to help you. But I don't know. So that's kind of my rundown on that a little bit, And I'm not saying pit bosses don't make good grills. I just don't think the ones that I have felt, like picking them up, that kind of stuff, and the controllers. I'll be honest with you, and I know I say that a lot. I need to quit saying that. Grills, to me, are like people to me. My daddy was like this too, as far as people go. There wasn't a whole lot of people my daddy liked, to be honest with you. For some reason, everybody liked Daddy. He knew everybody, but Daddy was real quiet, reserved for the most part, and he knew right off the bat within a minute or two whether he liked you or not, whether you were his kind of guy, whether he would have him in his backyard or not. And I'm the same way. I know right off the bat most of the time whether I'm going to like somebody or not. And I'm kind of the same way with grills. I walk up to it, the look it has, the paint scheme, how it's coated, the controller, the way it looks, the way it feels, no, that's not me. You know, that's it. And to be honest with you, that's the way I've been with pit boss. That's the way I've been with, to be honest with you, that's the way I've been with Green Mountain grills. I mean, they sell them, again, I know I've said this 100 times, but they sell them right down the road right here in a pool supply store. And every time I go in there to get pool supplies, I'll go over there and look at them and I'll pick them up. And I mean, it rattles and they probably cook good. They probably cook good, but that's just not my cup of tea. And if you have a pit boss, if you have a Green Mountain grill, I don't look at you anyway. I'm not downgrading you. I'm sure it cooks good food. But there again, people ask my opinions. So that's just my opinion. So that's just kind of, it amazes me how little homework people are doing before they buy these grills. I mean, some of them really have no idea, no basic idea of how these pellet grills work. They don't know what pellets are, some of them. It's amazing. I appreciate it, Tom. Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's good stuff, Gavin. And and so right after that, another guy got on. I need to go back and look. No, it wasn't Jace. It wasn't Jace. I can't remember who it was. But somebody got back on there after that guy's comment. Um, and he said that he was going to buy a birthday present for his son. And he found out the hard way that those grills aren't the same. The Traeger Pro 780 and that one at Costco. That he had found out the hard way after I made my comment about it's not the same grill. And luckily, that guy was going to go buy a Pro 780 for his son for his birthday instead of that Centurion 34. So, who was that? Gregor Miller. So that's good stuff, Gregor. And the other guy, I guess he's enjoying his Centurion 34 or whatever it was. Anyway, I just want people to be successful and have good cooks on their grills and enjoy their grills. And I hate it, man. You look on social media and there's so many people complaining about them and having problems with them. But it's on every single brand page. It's on the Traegers. And I don't see that many on Grilla Grills, but there are people who have some issues with them. Rectech, Green Mountain Grills. I mean, all of them. Pit Boss, all of them. There are people on there having issue after issue after issue. But I just feel like a lot of it is because they don't keep them clean. They don't pay attention to them. They don't, They don't know how they operate, that kind of stuff. They bring it on themselves a lot, I think. I don't know. Stephen Manis puts, oh yeah, if anybody uses lump charcoal, Lowe's has Cowboy Lump on sale for $9.99 for a 20-pound bag. Wow, that's dirt cheap. Appreciate that, Stephen. Jace, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And again, I have to think, maybe sometimes I shouldn't assume that people do things like I do. Not that how I do things is always the right way, because it's not. But I'm telling you, before I bought that Silverbac, I swear, ask Brandy, she was ready to strangle me. She was ready to just go out and buy one herself and just bring it home and say, here it is. Because for 3 months, I was on this computer searching, watching videos, looking at reviews. By the way, reviews. Real quick on reviews, and by reviews, I mean, like, you see the 4.5 stars and you click on that review and you look at all of them and you read reviews. Just keep in mind, reviews on a pellet smoker. If somebody posts a bad review on a pellet smoker, keep this in mind. You're assuming that that person did everything right with that pellet grill. You're assuming that they knew how to use it and how it operated. And if they used it properly, they knew how to operate it, they knew how it was made, and the grill failed them, then that would be a good review. However, if it's a 1-star review on a pellet grill because they had a terrible experience, but they let the pellets in the hopper run out, or they didn't keep the grill clean, or it went 10 degrees over the temp and then they started opening and closing the lid and turning it off and back on and all that stuff, because all this stuff that I'm saying has happened. So they just took it back. I had to take that piece of junk back. Please keep in mind that these kind of reviews, you're assuming that those people that made the negative review knew exactly what they were doing. So I would kind of, maybe you can use some of those reviews as a guideline, maybe, but I wouldn't take them as the gospel, in other words. Have anyone tried the Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey pellets? I haven't, but that's interesting. That would be interesting to try. Stephen, one time didn't like them. They left a bitter flavor in my food. My wife was so fed up with me before. Yeah. But here's what I find. And I could have summed this up about a half hour ago. Here's what I find. The people that do research have far less problems with their grills than people that don't do research. The end. The people that are doing their research before they purchase a pellet grill are having far less issues and are enjoying their backyard and their cooks far more than the people who don't do research. I'll even say this. People that didn't buy their pellet grill from Costco are having far better experiences than the people that did buy them from a Costco or a Walmart. I'll go on a limb and say that. I'm not saying that there's some people out there that aren't having good experiences, but I mean exactly what I said. There are far more that are having good experiences that didn't buy them there. Michael, I've said that 100 times. I've said that 100 times. And I think that's one reason why some of these people are just going out and buying them, because it's set and forget it. It's like an easy bake oven. I'm just going to go out there, buy it, turn it on, throw my meat on, walk away. I'm going to come back. It's going to ding. I'm going to open it up and it's going to be done. Everything's great. Doves are flying. But it's not a set it and forget it. It's a fire. It's a fire. You don't set and forget a fire. I agree with you 100%, Michael. Thank you for the comment. They do get confused. They think it's electric. Like I say, some of them think it's propane. Some of them aren't sure what the pellets do and what the pellets are there for. They just don't know. I don't know. If you gave 100 people $100 bill, there would be 10 bad reviews because the bills were not new. You're right. You're right. Elvin, good morning. Good morning. Alexandria, Virginia. Beautiful country. Beautiful country. I keep cooking the same stuff because it's so good. Yeah, that is a problem. Confetti. It's like a confetti parade. So what's the go with warranty for these grills bought at Costco? Gavin, that's the other thing. And that's one of the reasons why I think people are so eager to just go buy them and try them. And if they don't like them, they take them back, because Costco will take back anything. They'll take back anything. It doesn't matter if there's anything wrong with the grill or not, or that the person just didn't know what to do. Either way, it's just the grill's fault. Take it back. Oh, yeah, we'll take it back. You know, customer service is a big deal. It is. And don't confuse customer service from a store saying, yeah, if you have any problems with it, just bring it back. We'll take it back. Well, that's not customer service. That's a return program. Oh, man. That wore me out. Yeah, and then they'll resell it. Exactly, Gavin. Exactly right. I mean, I see guys that I'd like to really punch in the face, to be honest with you. I know that's not appropriate to say, but that's just how I feel. That'll get on a page and brag because they used their Traeger or their Pit Boss or whatever it was. I used mine for a year and a half and then returned it, and they took it back. And he's laughing. Well, great job, buddy. I just don't get people like that. I don't get it. Luckily, every grill that I have so far is great. I love all of them. Now, the only exception would be, and I love the grill, but again, yeah, I mean, y'all have already heard me talk about it. The only exception would be the Traeger Tailgater legs. That part I don't love. Whoever made those legs, I want to take those legs off of it and beat them with those legs. Other than that, still cooks great. But other than that, all of my grills, I would recommend any of the ones that I've got sitting out there right now to any of you. assuming that you know how to operate them and use them. William, good morning, Bon Air, Georgia, man. Bon Air. Kathleen. William, I used to work right there at that Frito-Lay plant in Kathleen. Loading chips on the trucks, driving a forklift. Yep. I've dealt with the Tailgater for 4 years. I might put it on a cart soon. Well, Jace, that's what I was doing. I had it on a. You can buy one of these carts at Amazon for like $60. It almost looks like a little plastic library cart, made out of that polyethylene plastic stuff. But I had it sitting on there, and number one, it raised it up higher, which I liked because I think they're too low. And then I didn't have to deal with those legs. So I'd roll it around and use it. Now, I will say this, something I found out, and here's something good too, about, I think probably, and this is a good point. Sometimes I make good points to myself when I'm thinking out loud. I need to do this. Albert, good morning, man. So I'll do this in a couple of months. I'll probably do a review of my Chimp review. But what I have found yesterday, and this is a word of caution for all you Chimp users. If you're going to pull it around anywhere, like yesterday, I pulled it out on my cool deck. It was going to start to rain, so I pulled it back in. Word of caution. If you're going to pull it behind you using that handle, I would recommend, before you go to pulling it, folding in the legs on that side. Because the way they come out, they kind of go out this way and out that way. That one that's closest to you could potentially rip the hide right off of your ankle bone. When you were a little kid and you'd be pushing the grocery cart behind your mama, and your mama would turn around and say, "Boy, you better not run over my heels with that grocery cart." Or if you've ever been run over by your heels by a grocery cart, that feeling that you get. Well, the Chimp, when you're pulling it behind you with the legs out on that one end, it has the potential to give you that grocery cart feeling on the heels. So just a word of caution there. When you go to pull it, before you turn around, just push that button in and fold that leg up, and then you can turn around and pull it without having to worry about, that old grocery cart coming and getting you ankles back there. Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you guys. Got a Silverbac, had an issue with the lid. Let them know they are sending another. Awesome, William. Awesome. And when I first got my Silverbac, and see, when I got my Silverbac, that was before they ever put the reinforcements on the sides. It was just the lid. And I had an issue with it was probably a 3/8 gap or more. And same thing. They shipped me a new lid. I sent them their lid back. Great. I mean, no hassle, really. I mean, that sounds like a selling point. No hassle car lot or something, but it was really no hassle. So good to hear that, William. Chicken and ribs today in the rain, man. Yeah, it's a little cloudy out there. I hope the rain holds off, but man, I cooked so much food yesterday. It was unbelievable. By the way, that cook I did yesterday, that pork butt, I filmed it. By the way, my daughter Sarah, love you, Sarah. she let me borrow her camera. It's kind of like a DSLR, but it doesn't have mirrors or something. I don't even know what that means, but I borrowed it. It was a Canon M10, and I filmed the video yesterday with it. So I'm anxious to see how it turns out. Let me know what it looks like. See if y'all can tell the difference. But I used it yesterday on that cook, but that pork butt, man, it turned out good. Speaking of that, I told you I was going to talk about the smoke ring a little bit. I want to get a good smoke ring on it. And if you're looking to get a good smoke ring, one of the best suggestions that I can give for you is, number one, low temps. And I was cooking at 250. That's not super low, but most time I usually cook them at 275, but I was cooking at 250 yesterday. So low temps, and have something to spritz. And there's two reasons for that. That smoke ring is caused not really because of the smoke, but it's caused because of a chemical reaction when wood burns and the myoglobin in the meat. And, so like if you get raw meat, it's kind of a red or pink color. And that's kind of because of the myoglobin, globulin or whatever in the meat. Well, if you notice, a well done steak is gray or brown inside. But that smoke ring is created because of that chemical reaction before it reaches a certain temperature. Once it reaches a certain temperature, a higher temperature, it no longer preserves that myoglobin in the meat, causing that smoke ring. So the longer you keep it at a lower temperature, the better off you're going to be. The bigger smoke ring you're going to get. The longer it stays creating that chemical reaction at a lower temp, the bigger your smoke ring is going to be. So the best advice I can give is a spritz. And the reason for that is every time you spritz it, it keeps that temperature down. That temperature starts to rise, you spritz it, and because of evaporation and everything, it keeps that temperature lower. And so every time in my experience that I have spritzed, I always get a better smoke ring and cooking at a lower temp. And so that would be my suggestion. But I posted some pictures, at least one picture on Instagram yesterday of the pork butt. And you probably aren't going to be able to see it, but check out my Instagram if you have Instagram. There's a pretty cool picture on there. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see it or not. Probably not. No, you can't see it because of all the glare. Maybe a little bit. But anyway, it was a great, and that smoke ring was throughout. The bark was good. And man, I just love pork butts. People talk about briskets, and maybe, everybody likes different things. But for me, if I've got to choose between a really well-cooked brisket or a really well-cooked pork butt, I just want the pork butt. That's just me, but golly. Me and Brandy both, as soon as I started pulling it, and there, a big chunk with some good bark on it would come out, and we just started eating right there before I even got the whole thing pulled. And it was great. So anyway, it was a real good, successful cook. The Chimp performed perfectly. I used the regular mode for the Pro mode for the first part of the cook. And then I used the PID mode for the second half of the cook after I wrapped. And the controller worked perfectly, just like it's designed to do. The first part of the cook, I got a swing with good smoke. Second half of the cook, it dialed in the temp and stayed within 5 degrees of the set temp and stayed there. So, and one reason why I did that, sometimes I don't wrap, but I wanted to wrap this time and change the controller from one mode to the other just to test out the modes and see how they worked on a long cook, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. So that's kind of good news if you were wondering how they do it. Or I've even seen some people ask if you can change modes within a cook, and you definitely can do that. So Bolingbrook, Georgia, cooked 4 racks of ribs Friday on the Silverbac. Friends love them. Yeah, you're going to get a lot more friends now. Do I have a Snapchat? I do have a Snapchat. I've got about 6 friends on there, I think. I don't use it much. I forget about it, to be honest with you, because it's hard just to keep up with Instagram and Facebook. And then people send me messages on Instagram and then messages on Facebook. So checking comments and messages on Facebook and then going over to Instagram and checking comments and messages on there, I forget sometimes to just do Snapchat stuff. But I do have, I don't even know what it is on there, Julius. And I don't even know if should I share this on the World Wide Web? I don't know. Let me see. I don't even know what my name is on here. Oh, it's just Sandy Smith, I guess. Oh, no, it's not. Should I share this? Y'all tell me if it's a good idea to share this first. I know Mike Tabor, he'll say, oh yeah, go ahead. Brined 8-pound chicken. Gonna smoke today. Any suggestions on rubs? Got the Grilla AP rub and many different rubs from Dizzy Pig. Brined 8-pound chicken. William, that Grilla AP rub is good on just about anything. The only thing I would say is, for me anyway, that Grilla AP rub, and I used that Grilla AP rub on the jalapeno poppers yesterday. I sprinkled some on the cream cheese, and then after I wrapped it in bacon, I sprinkled some on top of the bacon too. And man, it puts a great flavor on those jalapeno poppers. But what I was going to say is, what I have found with the Grilla AP rub is it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. So it depends if you want a sweetness to the chicken or you want it more salty, more savory, I guess. Then I would use some of the Dizzy Pig stuff. Yeah, I have heard that some of the ingredients in some of the rubs can aid in that smoke ring as well. That's a good point. So what did I use on the rub yesterday, on the pork butt yesterday? I know this is going to flip some people out, but I cooked on the Grilla Grill Chimp, but I actually used the Traeger coffee rub. I just love that rub. It's got really good flavors in it, and it adds a really good color to it. And so when I seasoned up the pork butt, actually my son Nate is the one that seasoned it up. I let him trim it and season it up. Just rubbed it with a little olive oil. That's why I always use olive oil for a binder. Some people use mustard. Some people don't use anything. And then just use the Traeger coffee rub. And it turned out really good. I love that rub. William said that the stream went black. I don't know what's causing that. Harley said the last stream, like an advertisement came on or something and caused it to glitch or something. But y'all let me know if it's still up and still on there if y'all have any problems. When you brine chicken, pick a rub with less salt or no salt. Good tip there, Jim. Appreciate you, Jim. At what internal temp do you recommend wrapping your pork butt? Julius, I did mine at 165, 170, somewhere around there. And I actually meant, I kind of thought about it ahead of time because I knew I wanted to wrap it and change the modes on the Chimp, but I had thought ahead of time, and I was going to wrap that pork butt in butcher paper this time, and I forgot until we had already wrapped it in foil, but still turned out great. But I wrapped it around 165, 170. Great call, Jace. Great call. Albert, you need to try a coffee rub, and I'll be honest with you, the first coffee rub that I would recommend, I've said it before, just do it. Don't doubt it, just do it. Fire and Flavor coffee rub. Fire and Flavor coffee rub. You can get it at Lowe's, or you can get it online, Amazon, probably maybe at Ace Hardware, any store like that, maybe Walmart. Fire and Flavor coffee rub. That stuff is great. But the Traeger coffee rub is really good as well. Also, Tango Spice Company Midnight Espresso. Great coffee rub. Appreciate that, William. Thank you. So, about the Snapchat. Did you ask me about Snapchat? Julius asked about the Snapchat, didn't you? Yeah. The wife said I was making too much noise. That's good. I'm just going to do it. And if I start having issues, then I'll just delete it and then I won't have it no more. But Julius, my Snapchat is just like my other email, but it's Corporal Smith SE1. So CPL. Here, can I type it on here? I'll type it on here. How about that? I've never typed on my own. And for some reason, there's some number beside it. I don't know what number that is. But if you need that number, I can give you that number. So try it. Maybe it'll work. I did do a little video yesterday on that thing and shared it when I had the Kamado Joe going and the Pro 780 going and the Chimp going all at the same time in 3 different parts of the yard. I kind of filmed that a little bit and threw it on there. That was pretty cool. And everything turned great off of each one of those grills. The Chimp did great. Pro 780 did great. Kamado Joe did great. I love that Kamado Joe. I can't wait to do a video on that. The Snapchat banned people for conservative viewpoints too. I'm not sure, Mike. I haven't really done enough on there. All I do is video my backyard. So I got the same treatment from the wife when I got up at 5. Oh, I love it. I tell you what, Jace, that thing, it was good. It's been a while since I've done one, but that's my favorite thing to cook. And when I tasted it last night, I thought, why haven't I done this more often. It was great. And I got a 9.5. It was actually 9 3/4 pounds, which is bigger than I normally get. Most time I usually try to stick to around 8 pounds or so. But this was 9 3/4 pounds. But man, it looked so good. I got it at Mike's Meats here in town. And so I brought it home and maybe trimmed off 1/4 pound, maybe. So cooking weight was 9.5 pounds. But the thing about it on that Chimp, it only took about 9.5 hours. And normally when I cook a butt, if it's 8 pounds, it usually takes around 10 hours. So it was interesting. I don't know if it was because the small chamber of that Chimp, maybe holding that heat more directly around it or something. I'm not sure. But it cooked a lot faster than I thought it was going to. I figured that 9.5 pound would take 11, 12 hours or so, but it didn't. I was pretty impressed with that too. I sent you an email. Okay, no problem, Dave. As soon as I get off of here, I'll check it. I'll do it. Yeah, I always forget about it, and Snapchat's still kind of weird. So that's about it, guys. Hour and a half. If rain holds off, might cook some ribs today and take sun fishing this afternoon. That sounds like a plan. I'm not cooking anything today. Although we do have some more bacon, I could cook some more bacon. Guys, if you hadn't done this, if you go on a pellet smoker and you haven't cooked bacon on it yet, I'm going to suggest that you do it because it's awesome. But you might not want to do it because you're going to find yourself buying about 10 pounds of bacon a week. But I don't know what it does. I don't know why. But that pellet smoker turns the fatty part of that bacon into just almost like a cotton candy. You know how you put cotton candy in your mouth and it just dissolves? That's what it does to that bacon. The fatty part of that bacon, you eat that bacon and it just dissolves. I mean, it's unbelievable. And they had bacon on sale yesterday at the grocery store for $2.38 a pack. So I bought 3 packs and we cooked 2 of them yesterday. Dave, thank you, man. Bless you. I appreciate that very much. Jus Piddlin BBQ, thanks you. So try some bacon. 300 degrees, just until it gets the color that you want it. But be careful. Once it starts turning color, it's not going to take very long. So be aware of that. Will you be doing more videos using the pit barrel cooker? Absolutely. I had a list of my next couple of videos. I don't know where it went, and I don't remember what was on it. But I know I wanted to do that review on the 780. I had to get that done. Yeah, Eddie, I'm the same way. And I will tell you, for a long time, I had issues with YouTube because every time I would wear a grunt style shirt or a 9-line shirt or I stand for the flag shirt, anything like that, when I'd monetize my channel and I'd post a video, it would get demonetized for several days. I would have to fight that demonetization. They would review it, and then obviously there was nothing wrong with it, so they'd have to put it back up. But that was still 4 or 5 days worth of views that I lost. But every single time I would wear those shirts, it would happen, and I would get kicked off. and it would take 4 or 5 days to put it back on. And Mike Tabor, bless you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all are the man. But that's why in a lot of my videos, a lot of the pictures that I put on Instagram, I always try to get the American flag in the background or something like that, because if not for that, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now. So yeah, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to change my views on things because it's not politically correct to the elitists, what I would consider to be anti-American elitists out there. So, and then, not to get political, but my feelings are we're in bad shape right now, guys and girls. We're in bad shape. But if you're a patriot, you just keep being a patriot. That's the only thing I know to do. Keep fighting the good fight. Yeah, we need a conservative friendly social media platform. I totally agree, Dave. The problem is most of the social media companies are controlled by Silicon Valley and that area out there in California. And I don't want to offend anybody, but I feel like I can say this a little bit because I live in California. I was stationed in California out at Miramar. Beautiful place to visit. But that their view on things is so, to me, the way I look at things, their view of things is so it's ass backwards, to be honest with you. Just an example. It's legal for everybody to just walk around smoking pot all day, but you can't have a damn drinking straw. A drinking straw, a little straw in your cup. You're going to jail for that. But hey, can I borrow some pot? I don't know, man. Bad shape. Bad shape. Well, let's try to keep the old F-bombs out of it there, man. But anyway, I could go on about that, but just got to keep fighting the good fight. That's all I know to do. Red Pilled America podcast on. Check it out. Red Pill America. I'll have to do that. And really, the only media that I watch now is Fox. You can't watch MSNBC or CNN or any of those because it's all a copy of all the other ones' newscasts, and they're all spelling the same exact words, same exact phrases, because that's what those companies want to get out. And Sean Hannity, love watching his stuff. Ben Shapiro, I love watching that guy. I don't think Ben Shapiro could lose an argument to anybody because he's so intelligent. I don't know how he knows everything that he knows, but he can, if you ask him anything and try to argue with him, he's going to spit out statistics. I mean, he's like an encyclopedia. He does. And people constantly try to argue with him, and within 5 minutes they can't even say anything else. They don't even know what to say because they don't have a rebuttal. There's nothing. I love Shapiro. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off here. Hour and 40 minutes. Appreciate all you guys for showing up this morning. Must have confidence in the person's ability to use the product. Yep. Willow Majority is also good on Sirius. Jericho Green on YouTube. Who's the guy on YouTube with the cowboy hat? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I like watching that guy. I like watching that guy. Anyway, gonna get off of here and edit the Chimp video with the pork butt. I may try to post it this afternoon. I hope it turns out good. It may take me a while because I've never uploaded a video onto my computer from that camera. We'll see how that goes. I hope it's easier than doing it from this because this is a pain. I think it took me 2.5 hours just to edit that 780 review video. That was a pain. 2.5 hours for 18 minutes worth. And I don't know if y'all watched the whole thing or not. I hope you did. But the bloopers were almost as long as the actual main content was. I don't know what it was. Some days I just get out there and then, you know, I'm tripping over my tongue or something. I can't speak. And, you know, you would think that I had been dipping in the cooler before I made the video or something. But anyway, so I'm going to edit that video. We're going to heat up some pulled pork from yesterday and eat on that and get ready to watch the race at Dover. Hopefully my man Jimmy can pull out a win today, man. He's struggling. Mike Tabor, I love you, man. All you guys. Great bunch of folks. Again, before you leave, if you'll give me a thumbs up. If you hadn't subscribed, subscribe. If y'all can, you know, if you see my videos on social media or something, you know, please share them. The channel's growing. Just got to be patient with it. And appreciate all of you that wish the product would do something it wasn't designed to do. Eddie, you're exactly right, man. You're exactly right. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll try to have that other video up today or tomorrow. And if nothing else happens before Wednesday, then I'll see you Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the evening live show. So thanks again. Dave C., I'm fixing to check that email right now. Oh, man, don't let it rain. Well, I'm going to eat pork butt anyway, so it'll be all right. Until next time, I'll be piddling. See you guys.